Hey guys, so I just wanted to come on here and give a little Buspirone update. So today is January 13th and I have been on Buspirone for almost 4 months now, which is crazy to think about. But it's been quite a wild ride. So if you've watched my previous videos, you would know that all has been pretty well with Buspirone. Except for week 2. Out of my whole 4 months of being on Buspirone, week 2 was definitely my least favorite week, and I had some pretty gnarly side effects. But right now, 4 months in, I have no more side effects, and there is a very notable difference in my anxiety and in my depression and in my mood. I feel like I am finally living. I'm able to be like my full true self for once in my life. And I honestly feel kind of like a kid again in the way that I look at the world through optimistic eyes, and I don't think that everybody is like out to get me like I did previously before I started Buspirone. So in my last video, I was on 10 milligrams, I believe, of Buspirone a day. And now I'm on 15 milligrams. So on 10 milligrams, I was having some memory issues, and I, at the time, was on Adderall because I am also just diagnosed with severe ADHD, and I've been on Adderall for years. I've noticed that my Adderall and Buspirone mix is not good. It's not a positive thing, which I can talk a little bit more about that at the end of the video. So if you have ADHD, or if you're interested in listening to that, I can put like a timestamp at the end of the video. So I got off of Adderall about a month ago, and I have been feeling so much better since getting off of Adderall completely and since increasing my Buspirone from 10 milligrams to 15 milligrams. There were some weird things that happened whenever I increased my dose from 10 milligrams to 15 milligrams, which I actually made a video on it in the moment when that was happening, so I can insert that. I did experience some really weird side effects, but it only lasted about a day or two, like right after increasing my dose. But yeah, I will insert that video like right now. Hi, so Reagan and I are on the way home to Ohio for the holidays, and I just increased my Buspirone dose the day before yesterday, and I kind of wanted to talk about some things that have been happening since increasing my dose because I have been having some weird side effects. So by the way, I went up from 12.5 milligrams a day to 15 milligrams a day, which I mean is not a lot. Sorry, my hair is crazy. So I started noticing some things like on the drive yesterday whenever we left home. I noticed like it was really hard to finish sentences. Yeah, I would like start a sentence and then I would like stop talking and it would be silent, and then I was like, what the heck was I just saying? Before I took my last dose, some weird things started happening. I started feeling like, I don't want to say like I was having hallucinations, but like in the hotel here, there's like a sink and it has dots all over it, and I thought the dots were bugs and it looked like they were moving around everywhere. Here, I'll literally show you what I'm talking about because we're in the hotel. Like these dots, like on the sink in the hotel. Hi. It looked like they were like moving everywhere, like bugs, and I was like, oh my god, there's bugs everywhere. And then I had to like look at them and I was like, oh, okay, like that's just the sink. I did feel like insecure about some things last night that I haven't really felt insecure about in a long time. It felt like my anxiety was like worse than it has been in a couple of months, which makes sense. I'm messing with my serotonin levels. And then the last thing I wanted to say is that I woke up at like midnight 30 and I was having like a really disturbing dream, which I haven't had disturbing dreams since I started Buspirone. So that is something that happened to me whenever I increased my dose, and these are the side effects that I have been experiencing so far. But it's only been day 2, so hopefully these side effects will go away soon. So yeah, some weird stuff did happen whenever I increased the dose, but like I said, it only lasted like 2 days at most, and then I completely stopped having the side effects. So like I said, overall everything's been so good. Honestly, I give Buspirone like a 10 out of 10, just being 4 months in, but the only downfalls for me is that it did take me this long to start really feeling good, and I was having such bad memory issues on the 10 milligrams, which is interesting because now that I'm on 15, I'm not experiencing those same memory issues. Like, my memory is definitely back to normal. So yeah, I'm not quite sure what happened there or if my brain was still just adjusting. But yeah, I don't have those memory problems anymore. So there's been a lot of positives, but I did want to like talk a little bit about how jarring it can be. Because, you know, I watch a lot of these videos on like antidepressants and anti-anxiety medications, especially whenever I was trying to find the right one for me. And people don't really talk about going from a depressed person or someone that has severe social anxiety like me to not having those issues anymore. Life is really weird. So I used to have really bad social anxiety, and I would feel really awkward. Sorry, my cats are being insane right now. I would feel really awkward if there was like a millisecond of silence, and the awkwardness would feel so crippling. Now, whenever there is silence or something where I used to feel super awkward, or I would have that awful feeling of social anxiety, there's just silence, and it's weird because there's nothing there. Going from one day having really bad social anxiety to the next not having that anymore, it's very jarring, and I didn't know what was wrong. It was almost like, what is missing in this conversation right now? So yeah, I guess that's all I needed to say there, but I did want to give anybody like a heads up that it can be very jarring, going from high anxiety all the time to nothing, and, you know, like having space to feel other feelings, and it's a really beautiful thing. I think that I have been able to learn a lot about myself, my other emotions, and I've just been able to be a lot more in tune with myself, like as a whole. Yeah, so I hope that anybody else who is trying this medication or any other type of antidepressants or anti-anxiety medications get the same benefit out of it that I have, because it's been so life-changing. I did want to briefly talk about my ADHD medication situation in this video too, just in case anybody out there is also struggling with this, because I have not come across a video with people that struggle with this, but it is a very common thing because I have found a lot of things on Reddit. If you watch my previous videos, you would have heard that I was having a lot of issues with my Adderall and Buspirone mixing. So my doctor said there is no interactions and everything would be fine, and he has other patients that take the mix and it's totally fine. But for me, it was making me more scatterbrained. It was making me more anxious, and I was having a lot of issues with my memory and even speaking, like when I would mix the two. I tested different doses of Buspirone, I tested different doses of my Adderall, and nothing works. Like, they just do not mix well for me. And 4 months in, it's pretty clear to conclude that it's just not going to mix, and that is okay. I found that Buspirone can be used to treat ADHD, mild ADHD, but it's off-label, it's not like official. But I did find a couple studies, and if I can find them, I'll link them in the description box. So that's pretty interesting. I thought that I would give it a try, just Buspirone for a while. I am diagnosed with very severe ADHD, and I had a lot of problems with the reading. I have a lot of problems with memory and emotional processing, you know, all of the things. I've noticed that Buspirone so far on the 15 milligrams has been helping with certain things, certain aspects of my ADHD. If this is my baseline is like here now. Like I feel like in general, I'm a lot better than I was prior to starting Buspirone. As in, I can read for pleasure now, which I never have done that in my entire life. I've only read on ADHD medication because I have a lot of issues with reading and then it getting processed in my brain. And I've noticed that I can read and easily process it, which I mean was the biggest struggle for me before. So I'm so happy with just having that. However, other parts of my ADHD, like losing things constantly, sitting down to genuinely learn something that I need to learn in school, has still been a struggle. So like I said, I'm just going to be trying this out for a while. No ADHD meds, just the Buspirone, and see how that goes for a little bit. If I don't see like an improvement, sorry, if I don't see like an improvement there within the next month or two, then I will consider trying the methylphenidates again, because I was reading that Buspirone and the methylphenidates actually work pretty well together. That's all I want to say for that. Hopefully this video isn't too long. Oh, okay, so there is a couple more things that I do want to mention is drinking and weight gain. First, for the drinking, I do want to say I still am not drinking on Buspirone. You're not supposed to drink on Buspirone, but I personally cannot drink on Buspirone. I had like a sip of cider like 2 months ago, like 2 months into my Buspirone experience, and it was extremely not pleasant. I like being high on life, so I don't really need to drink on Buspirone, and I'm probably just not going to. And then lastly, with the weight gain, Buspirone is not known for causing weight gain. Let me just say that. And I have gained a little bit of weight, and I did want to note that on here, but I think it's because of coming off of Adderall, because Adderall is a stimulant medication, and I was taking it every day for like 2 years, and then all of a sudden I wasn't taking it anymore, so of course I am just a little more hungry. If you notice some weight gain there, it's probably not the Buspirone, it's probably because I got off of Adderall. But I guess that's all of the updates. 4 months on Buspirone, super, super awesome. I am so happy with this experience. I feel so stable, and I am genuinely content with my life, and it's probably the first time that I felt this content in like at peace since I was like a child. But I wanted to thank you guys for your sweet comments, and I really enjoy reading everybody's stories with Buspirone. So if you want to share your experiences or any updates, please comment down below, because I really, really like reading through them, and it's really cool to see that other people are going through these experiences, and I just really hope that sharing mine can help somebody out there. But yeah, thanks so much for watching, and I will talk to you guys soon. Bye!